and we are gonna start from the baseline, and I'm gonna tell you exactly what you do. All of this coming from an ex master procrastinator. I tried, but I couldn't get rid of this procrastination until I understood something. I start understanding the patterns. My mind always feels heavy. I don't have clarity that what I am doing is actually gonna compound. So the brain is always telling me about, you shouldn't do that because you're not gonna get there, or there is already too many things that you started, and if you do this one thing new that you know you're supposed to do, you have already too many. I always was in that kind of mood, and I needed really to put my head on the wall many times, crash it until I understood this. Of course, I didn't crash my head on the wall. I did some other things that I'm gonna show you. But this feeling of heaviness, it comes at any levels. It's not when you are starting out something, and it's not about always and just about business and work. It's about your health. It's about anything that you do in your 24 hours. These little feelings, this way of operating in this chaotic way is what's making you procrastinate in the first place. Now, there are things that happen in your mind because you're not on your environment. Okay, your environment right now is structured in a way that instead of giving you clarity and calmness, which is from that comes the intuition, the clarity on what you're going to do, the output, how to structure things in a way that they compound. That clarity and that calmness comes first from the environment. Okay. Now, the environment is not only what is surrounding you. No. The environment is your environment inside your body, and what inputs you are allowing you in your environment, in your state of being. Because if your state of being is always pushed with some information, some kind of sound, some kind of music, some, something that you are going to listen, a podcast, a meeting that you have to do, that you have to speak, or you have to listen, a video, whatever is it. This is the problem. You are allowing your internal environment to be scattered and receiving input that doesn't make your environment shine. You have to shine. Your energy levels must be always at best. Right now they are not, but we have to understand why they are not. Not because you're lucky or because you're doing things wrong. The ambition is there. Probably you already accomplished different things in your life, or maybe you're trying to accomplish first time in your life things. Okay, it doesn't matter, because that procrastination and is coming from someone that was a master procrastinator. I overcome that, and then I had like those 10% that still was with me, and I had to overcome also that 10%, because remember, in a group of people, 10 people are of the same mindset, but you have one person that has the wrong mindset and a bad energy, and is gonna over time bring the other 9 down. And that 10% of procrastination feeling that I didn't know what was, it can risk that 90% that you did good over time. Okay, over time. And we want to think long term. So I'm gonna tell you how to completely forget about the even feeling or thinking about procrastinating. But first, you need to start from the environment. And the question that you need to ask to yourself in this moment is my environment, what is surrounding me, and in my vessel, in my body, allowing me to have clarity, allowing me to have calm, and allow me to have a peaceful state of being most of the time during the day. Now, probably the answer to the question is going to be probably not, or not at its best. Now, the second question is, what is it exactly that I'm doing or that I am receiving? How am I spending actually the day? What is my end goal, and what am I actually spending the day now? Now, this is the end goal. This is how you're spending the day now. Where is your energy going? How you're treating your environment? Okay, this has nothing to do again about learning the thing that you want to learn, mastering what you're mastering, achieving success in the business, making a lot more money than you are making, okay, hiring the new person that you want to hire, whatever is it. You see, this is the end goal. Where is your energy going? Okay, if you have a lot of inputs all the time, input, input, information from the phone, then you listen to the music, then you go in an environment where there are people, input, always input, you're not never gonna have the clarity, and because of that, you're gonna procrastinate. So first, where is your energy going? How you are treating your environment? What you have to eliminate completely, because procrastination comes from chaos. That's it. It's too much of too many things. Okay, we need to eliminate. Okay, eliminate. Say no to many things. Once their environment is finally clean, you're gonna see something interesting happen. Once the environment is clean, your energy, instead of going in many different places, will go in one place with clarity. This is what it means. This is the moment that that clarity is gonna finally give you that famous real focus that you need of actions to accomplish the goal. Now, before you accomplish any goal, you need to install an architecture that is gonna prevent your defense mechanism to ever bother you again. Now, you don't want this defense mechanism of procrastination come into your life, into your mind, ever again, because that is what kills momentum. It's what kills everything. It's not a good feeling. It's bad energy. We don't want that. Okay. So how do we create a system that allows us to always, with joy and with, I wouldn't call it happiness, but with good and positive energy, that is allowing us to do what we are supposed to do at full force, with not second doubting what we are doing, with not chaos and with not distractions. Even if they are there, we are in that state that nothing can scavenge us, nothing can break our focus, nothing can break our clarity and internal state of peace that can never be broken. That otherwise it become a mess. It become a mess in business, it become a mess in private life, it become a mess. Okay. So first, before there was no real output defined before you start the work. Meaning, is this work making me get to the output that I want, the goal that I hope for this window of work, which is connected then to the end goal? Okay. Not this action is gonna make me to go to the end goal. No, because the end goal must be divided by mini goals, mini objectives, mini missions. Okay. Those missions can be coming before you start your work, 1, 2, 3, or 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever, how many hours of work you do. You have to define the mission and the outcome first. Okay, the output must become first. So before there was not. Now it must be defined. One. Second, loops. You start things and you don't finish them. It doesn't matter what they are. Can be thoughts, can be ideas, can be whatever it is. You have too many open loops. The mind registers these open loops as chaos. There is no organization in the thoughts. So it becomes heavy before you do the action. And it starts telling you to instead do this, instead do that, instead do the other thing, because it can be easier, faster, whatever. Maybe you like it more. This comes because you have too many open loops. So we need to close the loops first. Meaning, in the next sections that we work, this is very important that you have to install into architecture. You must get rid of the loop first. You have 5 loop open. You divide in 3 sessions, 2, 2, and 2. Okay, you get away of 2 loops, 2 things that you were doing that you didn't finish. Once you have 5 on 5, all loops are completely done, disappear. You are going to structure the architecture in a way that the focus that you are going to put in the action that you're going to do is going to be on one thing only, not on three or four things that you do in one single session. One single session, I'll put it here, one single session of work, maybe you do three sessions a day, and you do one thing in this session, 2 hours, one thing in this session, and one thing in this session. Most of the time, we want to do 4 or 5 things in one session. So we cannot accomplish 4 or 5 things. We have we are in an environment that you cannot make a decision because you have too many to make. And then you're gonna try to do everything here. You're not gonna accomplish it. You're not gonna do the main thing. Then you switch and you try to do what's left here. It's a mess. It's not gonna compound. It's gonna give you burnout. It's gonna give you stress. It's gonna make you procrastinate and do the things that are the less important. And it's keeping your environment dirty. Okay. So focus in one thing. Once you eliminate the loops, in the next work session that you have, eliminate the loops, the open things that then you don't put more loops. Okay. Once you define the output, the final goal, you divide it in 1, 2, 3, 4 things that you have to do weekly, and we have the weekly goal and mission, and then you divide it daily. Okay. In that way, with the daily, you have focus on one thing only. Okay, and you can split the focus of that one thing in 3 different sessions. In that way, you're gonna even you don't need to work 3, 4, 5, 7 days a week. You can work 2 to 4 days if you're very good, of proper focus and proper action, 2 to 4 to 6 hours of focus daily for those 2 or 4 days that you decided. You can accomplish the weekly mission. At that point, become easy, become joyful, become uh, you become good to do things, become good to create. You stop consuming things, you stop the input outside, you eliminate it once and for all. Okay. And finally, there is one piece of architecture. This will make you understand that the defense mechanism, it's like a notification. It's your system telling you you are doing something that is wrong for your vessel, for your outside environment, for the energy that you put in and the energy that you put out. Okay. It's like a notification, the defense mechanism. Now, how do we permanently stop the defense mechanism to ever happen again? You are gonna have to implement an energy architecture in your entire mechanism, in the way you operate. Now, if you don't control your energy, something else is controlling that energy. That something else, which is all the inputs and distraction, is going to determine the quality of what you do, the outputs, the goals, the things that you do, in which order, everything. So you must protect your energy first. How do you protect your energy? You start from the morning. You wake up every day. It doesn't matter what you do in life. You are waking up every day. Okay? But you're waking up in a state of consumption, in a state of pressure, in a state of not ultra peace with no thoughts. Because those thoughts, as soon as you wake up, not even 10, 15 minutes, boom, they're there. What do I have to do? Pam, 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 pam. Maybe you procrastinate, maybe you don't. But the mind is always running on something. There is immediately input, you start moving, doing, blah, blah, blah. And this is when the energy starts scattering for you. You start putting too many inputs in your vessel that your mind and your nervous system can really handle. And then so things start getting in the direction that you don't want to. So you need to master your energy. All these works, the architecture work, if you are architecting your energy. If all the outputs come from a place of clarity, a place of peace, you're not gonna achieve anything if you start from a ground, a baseline that is chaotic, that is not clear, that is not at peace, that is not in stillness. Okay. From that stillness, from that clarity comes the great ideas, the great action, the great outputs, the perfect order of execution of how to do things in order to not waste any time. Because what's the point to pushing hard and doing a lot if then you don't compound and they don't last. You're just wasting time. You can learn lessons along the way, but without making sure that you don't waste time in things that you could have probably avoided if you apply a little bit of this. Okay, so architect your energy in the first phase of the day, the most important part, the first 2 hours. Those first 2 hours must be for you, that you have to go into stillness. What I've been using in order to master the first hours of the day is an energy architecture in the morning that allows me, I call it EDENIC morning architecture, that allows me to have a proper setup and things to do. I'm not talking about any journaling or a cold shower in the morning or whatever is it. No, it's a mix of light, water, movement, breathing that allows you to control the energy, command the energy, and because you command the energy of the day, you're gonna have clarity of the mission on the day. Of course, you're gonna have clarity on the mission of the week and the end one, but you're gonna have clarity on what is it that I have to accomplish today, and you're not gonna have second doubting thoughts. You're not gonna have confusion during the day, and you're gonna allocate focus correctly. Okay, 2, 3 hours, not 8 hours, 10 hours of work. You need 2, 3, 4 hours of proper focus and action without distraction, without breaking what you're doing because of whatever is it that comes in your moments. Okay, so the daring morning architecture, you must implement it. I created it's for free. It's 8 pages. You're gonna receive it as a bonus after watching what I call the EDENIC architecture, which is the complete 24/7 architecture of energy that cover all 7 days and the cycles of 90 days that allows you to get, we repeat it, the Edenic morning architecture is completely free. It's gonna allow you to achieve that clarity once and for all and stop procrastinating for good. You find it in the description. Follow the steps. You're gonna receive it probably as a bonus if you're watching this video now, because I have created an in-depth understanding of how to do things effortlessly, installing a proper Edenic architecture all over the body. This is explained later, but this is for free because you need to implement this before you do any action, before you have any thinking. This is the main thing that you must implement in your operating system for the daily life. Okay, this is it for this transmission. I hope that finally and once and for all you understand that procrastination is not something, a state that is sabotaging you. It's a defense mechanism, a notification and telling you something is wrong in how you are spending your energy during the day. Okay, with that said, I'll see you in the next transmission. It's been a pleasure. I see you, brother.